Last night's SmackDown Backstage was electric as tension skyrocketed between two of WWE's top stars, setting the stage for a showdown fans won't want to miss. Show some love, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Brock Lesnar has officially set the stage for what could be one of the most intense and electrifying rivalries in recent WWE history, and the target of his focus is none other than the reigning WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. The latest episode of SmackDown provided a moment that has fans talking endlessly, a backstage encounter that has all the makings of a legendary feud. It all started when Cody Rhodes, fresh off a quick interview segment, was navigating the backstage area with his usual confidence, the championship belt slung across his shoulder as a symbol of his hard-fought accomplishments. The atmosphere was relatively calm, but that calm was shattered in an instant when Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, emerged seemingly out of nowhere. Lesnar's presence alone can alter the mood of any room, his towering frame, chiseled physique, and intense stare carrying the weight of a predator sizing up its prey. In this particular moment, his eyes locked on Cody Rhodes, and the tension in the air became palpable, almost suffocating, as if time itself had slowed. No music, no flashy lighting, no crowd eruptions were necessary. Just the sheer force of Lesnar's aura made it clear that something significant was about to unfold. The WWE Universe watched as these two contrasting personalities faced each other, the calm confidence of Rhodes against the raw, dangerous intensity of Lesnar, creating a visual tableau that could only be described as cinematic in its intensity. Brock Lesnar's message was simple, yet profoundly intimidating. There was no yelling, no theatrics, just that trademark cold, unyielding tone that has made him one of the most feared competitors in WWE history. He made it abundantly clear that the championship that Cody Rhodes proudly carries is a prize that will not remain in his possession for long. Each word, each inflection, carried a weight that suggested inevitability, a sense that the chase for the title would be relentless, and that Rhodes might be walking directly into one of the most dangerous hunts of his career. Lesnar didn't need to elaborate. The threat was understood, implicit in his demeanor and the chilling precision with which he delivered his message. In that brief interaction, it became crystal clear that the Beast was not merely challenging Rhodes on a superficial level. This was a declaration, a calculated move in a larger chess game that could have far-reaching consequences for the WWE landscape. Cody Rhodes, however, did not flinch. In true champion fashion, he met Lesnar's intimidating gaze with the unwavering confidence that has defined his career. Rhodes has faced countless adversaries, survived numerous high-stakes matches, and has often been placed in scenarios where the odds seemed insurmountable. Yet, in this moment, he embodied that resilience, staring Brock down with a determination that suggested he fully understood the magnitude of the challenge, yet refused to be intimidated. Rhodes spoke with measured calm, letting Lesnar know that he has conquered formidable opponents before and that fear is not a part of his repertoire. He asserted, in subtle but unmistakable terms, that while Lesnar may be a force to be reckoned with, he is not someone who backs down from confrontation or shies away from the trials that come with defending a championship of such prestige. This exchange was not just a verbal confrontation, it was a meeting of wills, a moment where two of WWE's top-tier competitors communicated volumes with nothing more than their expressions, posture, and choice of words. Lesnar's reaction to Rhodes' defiance was almost imperceptible, but infinitely powerful. He allowed himself a smirk, a tiny but loaded expression that conveyed both amusement and acknowledgement, as if recognizing Rhodes' courage while simultaneously asserting his superiority. Then, closing the distance with a subtle but menacing step forward, Lesnar delivered his final remark. "Enjoy it while you can." The words were few, but the implication was monumental. The warning carried with it layers of menace, a promise that Rhodes' reign as WWE Champion could be under immediate threat, and that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, uncertainty, and physical trials unlike any he had faced before. The atmosphere after this brief encounter was electric, charged with anticipation, and the sense that the stage has been set for a series of events that could redefine the landscape of SmackDown and the WWE at large. Brock Lesnar had spoken, and in his typical fashion, he had made it clear that the chase for glory and supremacy is about to enter a new, more perilous phase. The WWE Universe is no stranger to monumental clashes, but the intensity of this interaction between Rhodes and Lesnar carries a unique weight. Cody Rhodes, despite his impressive resume and championship credentials, is now on notice in a way that few champions ever experience. Lesnar's presence represents not only a physical threat, but also a psychological one. His reputation for sheer dominance, his track record of dismantling opponents with unparalleled ferocity, and his uncanny ability to control the tempo of a match all serve to elevate the stakes of this budding feud. For Rhodes, every decision, every step, and every match could now be viewed through the lens of this looming challenge. The WWE Champion is now preparing not just to defend his title in a conventional sense, but to stand against a competitor whose very aura exudes unpredictability, power, and danger. The subtle tension created in that brief backstage moment has the potential to translate into countless high-stakes encounters, each with its own drama, intensity, and narrative significance. Fans have already begun dissecting the encounter, replaying the moment, and speculating about the implications. Analysts and commentators are weighing in on how Lesnar's involvement could reshape upcoming storylines, impact championship defenses, and alter the dynamics of SmackDown as a whole. The encounter is being viewed as more than just a moment of backstage intimidation. It is a harbinger of conflict that could ripple through the roster, influencing alliances, rivalries, and the very strategies employed by competitors who now understand that Brock Lesnar is actively on the hunt. Cody Rhodes, meanwhile, faces the dual challenge of maintaining his championship legacy while preparing for an adversary who has few equals in terms of raw physical prowess and psychological intimidation. Every interaction, every promo, and every match now carries an undercurrent of heightened tension because the WWE Universe knows that when Lesnar sets his sights on a target, nothing is ever predictable, and outcomes are never guaranteed. The importance of this encounter also lies in the contrasting personas of the two superstars. Cody Rhodes represents resilience, determination, and the embodiment of a champion who rises to challenges and thrives under pressure. Lesnar, on the other hand, is the embodiment of raw, unrelenting power, a force of nature that has been honed over years of dominance both inside and outside WWE. The juxtaposition of these two styles, strategic resilience versus raw intimidation, creates an irresistible narrative, one that promises a collision course destined to captivate audiences. Their interaction backstage was just a glimpse, a teaser of what could unfold in